The previous episode, we learned why Lord Vishnu took birth as Lord Rama and how the four princes of Ayodhya were born. Everyone believed Rama would spend his childhood safely inside the palace. But destiny had different plans. A single visitor was about to arrive at Ayodhya, and his request would change Rama's life forever. That visitor was none other than the great sage Vishwamitra. Known for his extraordinary wisdom, unmatched spiritual power, and years of intense penance, sage Vishwamitra was respected by kings and even feared by demons. One peaceful morning, the guards at the gates of Ayodhya announced the arrival of the great sage. King Dashrath immediately stood up from his throne and personally walked to welcome him. The king washed the sage's feet according to tradition, offered him the finest seat in the royal court, and greeted him with folded hands. Great sage, your arrival has blessed my kingdom. Please tell me what I can do for you. Vishwamitra smiled gently. King Dashrath, I have not come for wealth, nor for land, nor for honor. I have come to ask for something far more precious. The entire royal court fell silent. Dashrath replied confidently, whatever you ask, I shall gladly give. The sage looked directly into the king's eyes. Send your eldest son, Rama, with me. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Dashrath's smile disappeared. His heart began to race. The king could not believe what he had just heard. Rama, he whispered. My Rama is only a young boy. He has never fought a real battle. Vishwamitra continued calmly. My sacred yagyas are constantly being disturbed by powerful demons named Maricha and Subahu. Every time the rituals begin, they throw flesh, blood, and bones into the sacred fire, destroying the ceremony. The world cannot prosper while righteousness is constantly attacked. I know Rama is destined for greatness. He alone can protect the yagya. Dashrath became deeply worried. His love for Rama was stronger than anything else. He folded his hands before the sage. Please forgive me. I myself will come with my entire army. I will fight those demons. But I cannot send my young son into such danger. The atmosphere inside the royal court became tense. Sage Vishwamitra's face grew serious. His eyes reflected disappointment. King Dashrath, you have broken your promise. You said you would give whatever I asked. Is this how a king keeps his word? The entire palace fell into silence. At that moment, the royal guru, Sage Vasistha, stepped forward. He respectfully addressed King Dashrath. Your Majesty, you know the greatness of Vishwamitra. No harm will come to Rama. The sage is not asking for Rama out of selfishness. This is destiny. Rama's time has come. Trust the divine plan. Dashrath lowered his head. He realized that fear had clouded his judgment. With tears in his eyes, he finally agreed. If this is the will of destiny, I shall send Rama. When Rama heard everything, he smiled peacefully. There was no fear, no hesitation, no anger. He simply bowed before his father and accepted the command. For me, Rama said, my father's word is my greatest duty. At that very moment, Lakshman stepped forward. He folded his hands before the king. Father, wherever my brother Rama goes, I shall go too. I cannot remain behind. King Dashrath looked at both sons with pride and sorrow. He embraced them tightly. The queens blessed the two princes with tears in their eyes. The people of Ayodhya gathered outside the palace. Everyone prayed for Rama and Lakshman's safety. Finally, the two young princes left the royal palace with sage Vishwamitra. Neither horses, nor elephants, nor royal soldiers accompanied them. Only three figures walked toward the forest: a great sage and two young princes. As they entered the peaceful forests, Vishwamitra began teaching Rama and Lakshman powerful divine knowledge. He gave them to sacred mantras known as Bala and Atibala. These divine blessings removed hunger, thirst, tiredness, and fear. They also strengthened their minds and bodies beyond ordinary human ability. The sage then taught them the secrets of celestial weapons given by the gods themselves. Each weapon carried immense power. But Vishwamitra reminded them, true strength is not in possessing power. It is in knowing when to use it. Rama accepted every divine weapon with complete humility. He never became proud. He knew that power without wisdom leads to destruction. As the journey continued, the peaceful forest slowly changed. The trees became dark. Birds stopped singing. Animals disappeared. An eerie silence filled the air. Lakshman tightly held his bow. Rama looked toward the sage. "What is this place?" Vishwamitra answered in a calm voice. "This is the forest ruled by the terrible demoness Tatka. She has destroyed villages, killed countless innocent people, and no traveler dares to enter this forest. Rama, your first challenge awaits." The two brothers looked ahead. Far away, a terrifying roar echoed through the forest. The trees shook violently. Dust rose into the sky. Something enormous was coming toward them. Who was Tatka? Could young Rama defeat such a powerful demon? And why did the sage choose Rama for this dangerous mission? That is the story of the next episode. Remember this lesson. Sometimes, life changes because of one unexpected opportunity. It may seem difficult. It may seem frightening. But that very challenge could be the first step toward fulfilling your true purpose. Lord Rama did not become a hero by staying inside the palace. He became a hero by accepting responsibility with courage and humility.